Welcome back to Scouching reports for the 2025 NHL Draft. I am super excited to be back and doing this again. It is our second report of the season, and we're doing our first player who is completely out of left field, who most people haven't said a word about, in Tinus Luc Koblar, your mom and dad's favorite Slovenian-Norwegian playing in Sweden. I am a huge fan of this player, and I hope we're going to be able to see why. He is a player who, data-wise, has been extremely efficient in all the games that I've tracked of him. He's been a very interesting player to watch, to say the least. There are not many areas of the game that I would say are real issues data-wise for him, and frankly, I'm kind of surprised that there hasn't been more attention paid to this guy. So let's get into the video, but before we do, if you haven't yet, definitely subscribe to the channel. There's going to be way more of these coming, and if you really like it, consider subscribing over at Scouching.ca. It helps us out a lot, and you'll get access to these videos early. You'll also get access to plenty of cool data perks and all kinds of cool stuff, visualization tools and data tables and such you can check out over at Scouching.ca. So let's take a look at Tinus Luc Koblar, because I think he is great, and let's see. So this is the first thing we're going to note. Koblar is number 94. That's just really good defensive coverage, and again, just getting out of the defensive zone. The skill level, I think, needs work for sure, but as we'll see in this video, I don't think it's as bad as this sort of clip might indicate here. Barely holding on to possession here and working off of some pretty nasty defensive entry coverage. But Koblar manages to get pretty deep into his own end, back check really well, really smart passing lane awareness, cuts it off, gets it up the ice, and they're off to the races. And then for good measure, he throws the puck out in front for a scoring chance. So similar to Eric Nilsson, you're going to see really good translatable tools with Koblar, in my opinion. He gets the puck along the boards here, fends off that pressure pretty easily, and then just spins right off that guy, and now he's in open ice and can play around with it. So again, nothing super fancy, but this is a big kid who I think uses his frame really intelligently, and we'll see more impressive clips of this, I think, by the end of the video. The tendencies of a player, I think, are what's really important. So on this entry, there's a couple of things going on that I kind of wanted to bring up, and right away he threads that pass into the slot really beautifully, but this is all based on him, right? So right now Leksand is way offside. They've got multiple guys deep in the offensive zone, and Koblar gets the puck in his own neutral zone. He can't go back into the offensive zone here, right? He's still stuck, and he's got pressure oncoming from 18 here, so he just sort of finds his way to protect the puck and eats some valuable time, keeps the puck onside, and gets in the offensive zone, and then just threads a lovely pass to a forward that steps into that open space, and they generate a scoring chance. So for me, Koblar is a really good example that we're seeing already of a nice package of tools. He's a tall guy, he's got some skill, he has some ability to work off of pressure, and also make some plays in the offensive zone. This is just a nice move along the boards here to fend off that pressure and gain some space for himself, but then also diffuse pressure. Just get the puck to a teammate, help them move the puck up the ice. This is the kind of thing that I love, especially from centers, where Koblar largely played, and I think played his best hockey this season. So again, Koblar is a big guy, and he does not shy away from stuff like this, right? Gets good body positioning on that play. He's got guys all over him. He's got the ability to fend off that pressure and at least eat the puck along the boards pretty well and try to make something happen. He doesn't really have a whole lot of board support on that side of the ice that he sends the puck to, but at the end of the day, the process is good, and this is a lot of stuff that you need forwards to do. So one of the things that's evident in my data set, because this is not the best advised shot that Koblar takes right there, it was rare for him to do that. In terms of the data set that I've got, 83% of his shot attempts came from medium or high danger, 72 came from the slot, and you'll see why in about 4 seconds here, maybe 3. So they keep the puck in the offensive zone, and there goes Koblar, and he's just taking a little stroll right out in front of the net here, and this is what he's done all year. Bam. Goal. So for me, that's something that I've seen a lot out of Koblar over the course of the year. You know, the skill level and the fluid footwork are really great foundations to build on. Then he just kind of floats his way to the front of the net, and he gets another scoring chance. This is just something he's done all season long in almost every game I've seen. This is an up and down play, I would say. So like, I think here you probably would want him to take a shot on net. You're under double coverage and you have absolutely no support. I mean, I kind of like the idea of spinning off and letting teammates come in and help you out, but he just kind of just keeps holding on to it and holding on to it and holding on to it. And you can get away with that, right? At this level, if you're this big and this skilled for a big guy and all that stuff. It works, but I don't think this is very projectable, and so I probably want him to be moving the puck a little bit quicker than this, and I think that would help him out a lot. But you see a lot of the raw ability there with a guy this big, especially for a guy that at this rate, I mean, Central Scouting just ranked him and maybe as a guy that gets drafted. So I don't know. I would take this guy pretty clearly and try to develop into something better. And on we go. So this is another one of Koblar, again, just getting in on the forecheck, getting body positioning and a quick pass. Again, nothing super fancy, but something you need to see. He wins that race. He starts behind the player, ends up in front of them, and they get possession. This is a smart little play here from Koblar. He is in a good supportive position. The puck is down here on number 8 or 9 stick, whatever that is. I'm anti-jersey tuck as a hockey data tracker, but nonetheless, he does gain possession of this really well, just fends off that pressure with some solid strength and then makes no mistake, right? So that's not the most amazing shot on net there. But, I mean, this was an option that was sort of glaring. And again, it doesn't really appear here, right? Like, Koblar doesn't really have any options here unless he really just rifles one here, but that guy's probably not ready for the pass. So he kind of floats out a little bit, and now, boom, look what you got, right? The defensive coverage just falls apart, and you get yourself a scoring chance, sort of. What I like about this play is that Koblar's over here and he's always in front of this guy when the puck is on this side of the ice, right? So if there's an interaction here and it goes back this way, he's ideally going to win this board battle, right? So you'll note that he's still in front of him, and now he'll shake him off below the goal line, you know, not going to the other side of the net, and just boom, cuts back. Now he has some space, comes out and throws it out in front. Nice high-end hockey sense, I would say, out of Koblar there, you know, with good body positioning and good positioning in the offensive zone anyway. And then again, another slot pass that puts the puck out in front of the net and generates a scoring chance. You might look at this guy and look at his point totals and go, why isn't this guy scoring more if he's doing all this stuff well? And I honestly don't know the answer to that. But again, like, we've seen 2 plays in a row with really nice plays, nice passes into scoring areas, and the attempts on net are not awesome. Maybe that's partly to do with it, but I don't really care that much about production. I care about how a player plays the game. And on this play, again, you see a guy who's confident under pressure, fends off pressure, pretty tough pressure along the boards as well, and just fires a puck along the back. I mean, nobody was there to retrieve it, but again, the thing I wanted to highlight here was his ability to resist pressure along the boards and just protect the puck in key areas of the ice. Now you just have some really fun skill on the rush here, right? So Koblar is this fella with the puck on the offensive zone entry and on the defensive zone exit. Whoop. There he goes, and I might want a more threatening cut to the net here, but at the end of the day, what matters is that this is a kid who's big, he's got skill, and he can embarrass you with it from time to time, and very nearly did something pretty nice there. This is Koblar just not wasting any opportunities at all, right? So he does maybe take a bit on a bit of risk going out to the blue line here and drawing in some pressure, but just gets out of it, cuts to the net, and gets a shot from medium range on net. So this is a guy who generates chances for himself. It's not like he's, you know, sticking to the perimeter all the time and doing questionable hockey sense things. This is a guy who carries the puck well, protects the puck well, gets into scoring areas and generates offense. What we just said, copy paste, right? He gets the puck on the offensive zone turnover here. He's got tons of time and space to play with, and then just spins off of whatever pressure does come his way, gets into scoring areas and tries to get a chance on net, right? So there's a lot going on with Koblar that I think is very translatable. Again, similar to Nilsson, I think just the better his development goes, he's just going to keep getting better and better. That might sound obvious, but in terms of rounding out his game and rounding out how he tries to play and enabling him to be better in that natural style of play, I think that's really the sweet spot you want to be in, especially with players that aren't in the first round, right? Like, this guy might be a 5th, 6th, 7th round draft pick, but to me, I think he carries a lot more potential value than that if you're patient and bring him along and keep him confident and keep him playing in a similar style to this. So again, Koblar on the rush, gets to the net, gets a scoring chance, right? He's in a great position here, right? So he's got all of this to play with. He's this guy, a little chip pass or something, and he's off to the races. And that's exactly what happens, right? They get him the puck. kicks it to his stick, fights through that pressure, and just goes straight to the net and scores a goal. I'm just blown away at how limited his scoring ability was this year, because I think this is a guy that there's so much headroom. If there was a player in this draft class where the production didn't line up with the data and the potential headroom there in terms of development, he might be the number one guy. You know, the numbers were so good everywhere and in ways that I think translate really well that I can't stop really loving this player. And I think this is a really good example of that. His positioning, his ability to receive that pass and kick it up to his stick really cleanly on the rush, just cut to the net and get himself a chance and score. So this is just a collection of good plays. I wouldn't say anything is stellar, but that's a nice little chip pass to get out of pressure. And now they've got a nice little rush going here. He goes right to the net, wins that race, gets a chance on net, goes right into the corner and gets possession back, right? So under pressure, thinking under that pressure is super important to me. In the NHL, it's going to be a thing that happens. Just managing to make something happen out of this when, you know, other players might get pinned to the boards or just pitch it into the corner and hope for something to happen. He gets himself another scoring chance, as we've seen in this a lot. But also, yeah, like this to me is really important stuff to watch, is this play under pressure that I think matters. I don't know what else you want out of players, especially your centers. He's big. He gets the puck on that carry, he gets it into the offensive zone on a nicely timed pass, and just boom, goes to the net. You know, this is exactly the kind of thing that I look for all the time, right? These give and goes, the spotting of open men in space, and just go to the net. If you go to the net, things are going to happen. It's something that everybody should be doing more of, right? This is a great idea. Right? You've got this guy wide and they've got tons of room, and he's taking advantage of that. And then he just has the speed because this guy bites, and he's off to the races, right? He's challenging defensemen to keep up with him, and they can't. And here's that same thing again, right? So Koblar gets the puck along the half wall here. This is a 2-on-2. It's going to be interesting to see what he does here, but he does the smart thing, I think, and get it to this guy who has way more ice to play with than Koblar does. Get the puck off the wall, get it into open ice, get that defensive exit clean, and then he does his thing. He is now in front of this defenseman, and he now has a clear path to the net, and he'll get a scoring chance out of this. This is not a slow player. He's big. He might look a little slow at times, but he gets up the ice really well, just as well as a lot of other players in this draft that might go 2, 3, 4 rounds higher, and boom, goes to the net, gets himself a scoring chance. There's a lot to really like about this guy, and I think the way he combines everything together, just like Eric Nilsson in a way, I think is really impressive. This is a pretty basic thing, but again, off the puck, center, you need a guy to do this and help out your defenseman, but that's a gap that he needs to close, and he does. Makes 16 a non-option for a pass there, just a simple little defensive zone coverage thing. I like his ability as a forechecker as well. He drove some really good forechecking results, and this is just him using his edges to keep up with 28 and really be a bit of a bee in his bonnet. Doesn't cause a turnover on that play, and I'd love for him to be a step quicker and a little bit more intense on this play, but that's something that you can develop. That's something that can come with time, and I mean, hey, if he turns the puck over or causes a turnover in that area, that's problematic for your opponent. It's problematic for your opponent because stuff like this can happen, right? So Koblar's just, again, on the forecheck, just takes 25's lunch money there and almost gets himself a scoring chance. But you see a guy who is hard on the puck, doing the hard stuff, and just challenging guys. I want players who challenge the opponent, right? And really sort of make them do things, challenge them to try to get around you or through you or whatever. And if it works, there's a really good scoring chance potentially. This is another really good one from Koblar in the playoffs from recently. So Koblar is this guy at the bottom of the screen here, and he's just gonna chase this puck into the corner and just battle for it, right? Like, you want guys who can do this. He gets past that one guy pretty easily and then throws a hit, you know? I mean, he's a guy who will do this. He checks so many boxes for NHL teams where I'm going, okay, I don't know why he's not seen more favorably, but this is how it goes. You sometimes have to look under a bunch of different rocks to find something interesting, and a Slovenian-Norwegian playing in Sweden, a little unconventional, but I think that the physical tools and the mentality around the game is all really impressive and really projectable. This is Koblar also capitalizing really well on an offensive zone turnover here. So this is Koblar here, and he is in a good supportive position. They generate an offensive zone turnover. He quickly spins off that pressure, and that's that little skill move before shipping that pass into the I guess medium danger areas, I suppose you could call it, is really good. You know, that ability to quickly pull the puck around a defenseman here. Like, he could have maybe just thrown it between their legs or something here, but I mean, I do really like his ability to quickly make one little move, right, and apply his skill well, and he's drawn in that pressure, and he's created an opportunity for himself. I mean, that's another thing about Koblar is over the course of this season, he is one of the most reliable passers that I've tracked. He's completing over 70% of his passes in my data set, which for anybody is really impressive. And this is a great clip that explains why that might be, right? So Koblar is this guy down low here, more of a supportive position right now. I mean, the referee gets in the way, but he capitalizes on it. Again, that skill move to get it inside the middle of the ice and create an easy passing option for him. It's really good stuff. I love seeing this out of players, right? Like he manages to turn this situation into a clean exit, and he does it by finding this lane and utilizing it. It's a different way of trying a play like that, but I love to see that kind of thing, and I think that's really, really projectable. And this is it on display again, and in a really dangerous scoring scenario, right? So now it's a 2-on-1. Koblar got a pretty clean entry pass there in the offensive zone, and so what you'll see in a millisecond here is in this interaction, you've got this guy going to the net, good to do, but he'll wrap the puck around the defenseman and try to generate something there, right? He waits that extra second, that extra half a second to, instead of just trying to put it through legs or into feet, uses his reach really well, you know, and this is an example of a, you know, people say I don't like tall players or whatever, or big players, but I want them to use their abilities in a way that moves the game in the right direction. It's not just being big is not really enough for me. It's how you utilize your talent as well as your size. And I think for big guys, this is a good trait to have. This ability to use your arms and your natural reach to move the puck in ways that maintains possession a lot easier. It's just easier to make plays in this way. So for me, I think this is a really, really good example of something in scoring areas that I think also are threatening to do. This isn't executed perfectly, but I do think this is a really good highlight of everything that Koblar brings to the game, or a lot of it, right? So he's got oncoming pressure here from 18 along the boards. And I think the idea here is, you know, pull it this way and get it into the neutral zone here so that this forward, or whatever he is, a forward, I guess, can hit it on the defensive exit, but he misses, but still manages to get some good support from 44 here, who gets his stick on the puck, chips it into the offensive zone, and now gets an advantage here. And then here comes Koblar again, right? Nobody's really covering him. He just floats his way to the net and gets a tip on net. Sometimes scoring goals, it's not necessarily about who shoots the puck the best. It's about going to the net, getting tips, doing greasy stuff. And that's not the greasiest thing in the world, but a good tendency, right? This is a player who was among the leaders in my data set in scoring area shot attempts. Here's another one, right? Like he's in front of the net, he's battling for space, he's doing what you need a forward to do in this area, and he gets another scoring chance. I mean, this is a game that is a playoff game, and he's doing what you need to do. I mean, I think there's a lot that Koblar is bringing to the table across the board that I think is really, really important. If you want more examples of this guy just driving play to the middle of the ice and getting scoring chances, here's one. He gets two good ones here right from in tight. He's not Alex Ovechkin, but who cares? A goal is a goal, and if you do this kind of thing a lot, you're going to score goals. He just didn't score a whole lot of goals this year, and I'm a little perplexed at that. Now we're going to move on to some areas that might need some improvement, and I'm sure you can pick through the clips that we've already seen that, again, he's not an elite skater. He's not an elite skilled player. He's got physical tools and traits, but it's not perfectly built yet, or at least he's not developed, obviously. Again, he's very young. He's born in July 2007. You know, here you see him missing on a hit. He does get the contact, but doesn't gain possession of it in the offensive zone. This is where sort of issues come into play, right? So the only area of my data where I look at Tinus Luc Koblar, and go, this is an area to work on, is his defensive transition work. So he does lack the ability to generate pure speed in a straight line. Like if he is trying to back check and cover defensive ice and needs to close those gaps, it is a bit of a work in progress. Like the skating stride here isn't amazing, and he's not generating a ton of speed, and he gets there really, really late to help out his line mates. And again, if you're going to be a center, these kinds of things need to be a little bit better. This was from a little while ago, but this was something that popped up a lot. And in terms of defensive transition control, he did allow control on more than 50% coming his way, and he was pretty well involved in them. That's a bit of a negative in his game, but again, the overall results for him in general were outstanding, I would say. This is another one where, again, the physical strength would really, really help in terms of development. He chases this puck down into the corner really well, sticks with it. This is all good traits and everything, but that play along the boards initially and separating the player from there rather than them potentially getting into scoring areas and coming very close to a pretty good scoring chance. Nitpicky, but I pull clips of things that I see patterns of. I just don't want to sit here for 7 hours watching every minute of tape I've seen of this guy, as much as I'd love that. A thing that was a bit of an issue for Koblar as well was just settling pucks in tough areas of the ice. You know, it's not uncommon to see that, but along the boards, you definitely don't want to be bobbling pucks, and especially in your defensive zone, and he kind of bobbles it a little bit here and doesn't really get a pass off to diffuse pressure here and just gets outworked down low by Leo Sundqvist, who is much smaller than him. So I would just love to see him just gain a little bit better puck control in chaotic situations, which wasn't bad in this series either. I don't think it wasn't necessarily bad, but there were a few instances where I'm going a little bit tighter control would really, really help you a lot, but I'm not sure how many clips I have here that are labeled bad. I don't think there are that many. This is good and bad, I'd say. He gets good body positioning here again to win possession of the puck down low in the corner here. But again, we saw this with Eric Nilsson, right? This carrying and doing everything yourself, taking it all the way out to the blue line. You're just asking for a turnover and ruining an offensive zone possession. So this is something that I would definitely try to keep in mind and go, hey, just keep the puck down low. You know, in this situation, he does have a player here. You know, if the puck goes into the corner, I would much rather that than go into a battle in this area of the ice and potentially be on the defensive rush, because who wants to play defense, right? This one is a bit of a hair-raising one, and this was something that I saw a little bit with Koblar, where he's got all the time in the world and all the space, but good forecheckers and everything are going to be really annoying, and he very nearly causes an extremely dangerous turnover here. So being a bit quicker, the skill level to evade that pressure is good, and that looking off the pass that was right in front of him might be ill-advised. You know, there's a man out here that he could have easily hit with a breakout pass, and I get it. You're deceiving the team that you're going to go that way, but there's no pressure there, but he tries to thread it this way, and it works, but it's scary. That very easily could have been a very scary turnover. And that's it for Tinus Koblar. That's all I got. In general, I love this guy. I think that in terms of a guy that you might be able to get in the mid to late rounds of the draft and leave in Sweden for a few years and develop and, you know, work his way up the ladder, I think there's tons of headroom here, right? I mean, half of this job is looking for guys with a lot of developmental headroom. He is young, he is tall, he's lanky, he's skilled, but he's physical. He is an extremely efficient player. He does not waste his opportunities very often. His data profile, by and large, is excellent. Really good possession numbers, really good passing numbers. Excellent, arguably the best in my data set. Excellent numbers at shot selection and getting to the net and doing all these difficult things. He's almost an 80% efficiency player moving the puck up the ice. He does it through passes and pass receptions and carries almost interchangeably and does them all very, very well. One of the more successful breakout passers at the forward position in my data set this year. 42% of his team's shot attempts either came from his stick or from setting up others. I couldn't help but think to myself, this is a guy who there's so much headroom here. You look at his teammate Victor Johansson, right? Johansson was a nobody last year, and Toronto drafted him in the 4th or 5th round or something. And it didn't take long for me watching Johansson last summer to go, okay, this guy's actually kind of interesting. Like, there's some skating ability here. There might be some offensive ability. He just had like 7 points last year. And I think he was a point a game this year for the junior team, which, you know, that's a big jump in production. And I think that for Koblar, just the ingredients are all there. And it's kind of mystifying to me how he wasn't more of an impactful offensive player when it came to putting points on the board for his team this year. Nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, his team won a bunch of games, and I want guys on the ice who drive really, really good overall results. So I think there's a lot of positives in his game. There's tons of developmental room, I think. The areas to improve, I mean, being stronger on the puck and battling down low with the puck on your stick and generating those scoring chances for others a little bit more, I think would be a huge improvement, but he's not bad at it. It's just I want to see it more. He's gotten more of his chances from off-puck play and going to the net and battling in that way, but he's not a guy who's allergic to handling the puck. He is a very involved offensive rush player. He's a very good forechecker. He's a very physical player. And so all the ingredients are there. So I feel like this is a situation where when you look at the data case for this guy, and I'm a video coach or something, I'm going, look, there's so many things that are going right for you. It's just, let's try to make you a bit more of a playmaker, get you to the net a little bit more with the puck and making plays, getting down low and making plays that just put the puck out in front of the net. He was handling the puck along the boards a little bit and trying to evade a little bit too much pressure at times and carrying the puck out to the blue line as we saw, but in general, I think this guy's really, really great. So overall, I mean, I feel pretty confident about this guy, to be perfectly honest with you, right? So he's a solid 2B. I think there's a really solid all situations middle six guy here at some point, probably third line. I'm really bullish on him. I think that with good development, he could come a really, really long way. I had him as a 2A for a long time, but I do think that there's a bit of a ways to go to get there. But I think he has all of the ingredients of what an NHL team should be looking for. He sees the ice really, really well. He moves the puck really, really well. He carries the puck really, really well. He's stable but simple with his passing game. And his shooting game, I mean, it's not the most threatening shot in the world, but he's a 2A because holy smokes, does he ever get to the net and get chances from in front of the net better than most guys in this entire draft class. So I'm a big fan of Koblar. He's on my short list for team Scouching this year. I'm super, super excited to see if he gets drafted this year at all. And if he does, I'll be very excited to see where he goes. And that's going to be it. So if you liked it, definitely like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you really like what we do, definitely go to scouching.ca, where a subscription will get you access to all kinds of cool data tools, visualization, toys, and all kinds of fun stuff you can check out over there, as well as our super fun Discord server. Draft season is here and it's gonna get active, so get in now. Thanks very much, and we'll see you in the next one.